coming to you live on several platforms, actually 6 of them. 2 Facebook pages, Instagram. We're also on TikTok, Twitch, Trovo in Europe, and YouTube. So good morning, wherever you are. Good morning. All right, so let's get straight to it. Now, your subconscious is responsible for your manifestation. There is only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. That's it. Now, the superconscious you can call God or consciousness or higher self, or there's so many terms for that, okay? But within this structure, there is universal law. Okay, there are 12 universal laws. The law of divine oneness, which suggests that we are all of one energy. The law of vibration that we discussed yesterday. Okay, everything has a frequency. Everything has a vibration. And like attracts like. Okay, the law of attraction is the law of action, is, you must take action to manifest things in your life. Okay, now there's 2 trains of thought to that. Okay, so taking action is one thing, okay, and non-efforting is another. How do you non-effort? Well, non-efforting implies that there is already alignment before you take action. How do you create alignment before you take action? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization, the 4 pillars. So you actually take and create alignment before you take action. The law of correspondence says that your outer world reflects your inner world. The law of correspondence, what is out here corresponds with what is in here. The law of cause and effect, right? Every action creates a reaction. Sir Isaac Newton. Okay. This was a universal law way before Sir Isaac Newton. Okay. He did not discover this. Okay. It was already there. Okay. He didn't invent it. Okay. So whatever action you put out, good actions come back as good actions, and vice versa. Now, how does this happen? It happens through your subconscious. With your subconscious, your body learns to do an action better than your conscious mind. Or we could say it another way. Your body learns to do it better than you do. Because when we say you, we're referring to your conscious mind. The law of compensation. You are rewarded according to your actions. So what are you giving? The amount that you give is the amount that you receive. The more you give, the more you receive. Doesn't mean just money. You know, when we talk about giving and receiving, right? We're talking about a transaction. We're also talking about energetic transactions. What are you giving? Are you giving good thoughts? If you're giving good thoughts, you'll receive good thoughts. Like attracts like. If you're giving bad thoughts, you will get bad thoughts. How does that work? It works through your subconscious. Your subconscious will learn to think bad thoughts. Or let's say negative thoughts. Or let's say it a different way, fearful thoughts. Okay, so you remember all the negative emotions are rooted in fear. All the negative emotions. Your subconscious learns to worry. Your subconscious learns to procrastinate. Your subconscious learns to be negative or to have a bad attitude or to choose negative over positive. So the question becomes, are you looking at the glass half full or are you looking at the glass half empty? Your subconscious can learn to look at the glass half empty. Now your body does it better than you do. Now you don't have to think about it. You don't learn to brush your teeth every morning. Your body knows how to do it. It's been trained. Your subconscious knows how to do it. Your subconscious knows how to drive you to work without effort, without learning, because it's completed the process over and over and over. Your subconscious learns in repetition. Your subconscious learns every single action you do. Now, when you start to perform an action over and over, the subconscious goes, oh, okay, I got it. That's what we're doing. Okay, we're doing that. Okay. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're getting the same results over and over and over, no matter what you do, you can't get out of it. No matter what you do, you can't get away from it. And it could be anything. Some people say that they're not lucky. They think they have bad luck. No such thing. Bad thoughts, yes. Bad luck, no. I met this girl who told me she was a feng shui expert, and her life was in turmoil. I meet many people who tell me that they give their lives to God. God is in control of their lives, and their lives are chaotic. And you kind of go, whoa, how is that? How can a life be chaotic and you believe in God? Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, either way, you're a believer. Sure, you can believe in God, but if you haven't changed your subconscious, your core beliefs, it's like these people that get out of prison. They haven't been reformed. They haven't changed their paradigm. They've just been waiting. They've just been on a timeout. And when they get out, they go back to the same thing. Because it's what they know. It's what their subconscious has learned. Not all of them. Not all of them. I'm just saying the ones who have not changed their core beliefs. Some of them do. But the percentage is small. One of the reasons that the percentage is small is because not everyone realizes that 95% of your actions are subconscious. 95%. 95% of everything you do is subconscious activity. So then there's the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Your energy attracts similar energy. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy says that you can change your energy. You can transmute or take from one form into another. This is very important. This is very important. The majority of my clients are female. Always have been. Always will be. Women love to work on things, including themselves. And they seek confidence. And they want their little girls to be confident. Because males dominate the world. Very easy. And right around 38 to 43 years old, they have this abundance of energy that needs to be transmuted into productivity. It's biological. But the law of perpetual transmutation of energy says that no matter what your energy is, you can change it. It's always moving. It can be changed. Higher vibrations can transform lower ones. How do you do that? The fastest is the human voice. I change people's vibrations quickly, very quickly. How long does it take to change a mindset? 63 days. 63 days. Well, here's the challenge. Can you take this one and use this one for 63 days? Then can you speak out loud what you write every evening for 63 days? You know, this doesn't look like much. This does not look like much. But it's mightier than the sword. Why is the pen mightier than the sword? Because it can transform things through your subconscious. So the law of relativity, everything is relative to where it is. Problems and blessings only have meaning in comparison to others. And what is sometimes a blessing to one is a curse to another. But everything has the blessing side and the curse side. Everything. There's two sides to everything. One person may think, oh, well, construction is hard work. And then you have the construction workers that love what they do, right? Because they love to do that stuff, right? But it's only in the comparison that you notice. You know, oh, Joe sits behind his desk every day. He just works on paperwork. That's all he does. To some construction workers, that's hard work. Right? So it's in the comparison. If you work in a dangerous job, it could be looked at as a hard job. Some people that do dangerous jobs love it. They're adrenaline junkies. Okay, so it depends. But the law of relativity says that everything is relative. The law of polarity, everything has an opposite. Glass half full, glass half empty. But everything is perception. So how do you perceive it? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Why is that? So you can look at something as bad, or you can look at it as a blessing. You can see something working for you, or you can see the very same thing working against you. So now quantum physics is telling us that we choose. So no matter what you choose, the only thing for sure is that you will experience the consequence of choosing. So yesterday we were talking about how we choose thoughts and emotions and how not to choose them, how to let them go, how to let them pass, how to observe without engaging. Because attachment, when you engage, it doesn't matter if it's energetically or physically, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a thought, if it's an emotion, it doesn't matter. What you attach to will bring consequences. Now, consequences is not a bad word. We can say consequences, we can say results, we can say manifestation. The law of rhythm suggests that everything moves in cycles. The law of rhythm. Do you know your money rhythm? Do you understand your money rhythm? Do you understand that money is an energy? Do you understand energy has a rhythm? Sometimes money comes in, sometimes money goes out. It's the tide. It rises and it ebbs. It rises and it ebbs. For some people that work for certain entities or corporate entities or businesses, every 2 weeks money comes in. They get paid every 2 weeks. And how fast does the money go out? When you are independent of those structures, when you are independent of those entities, you will have a better sense of understanding the rhythm. You'll see certain points where the money goes out, and then when the money comes in. Then when the money goes out, then when the money comes in. And then pay attention to how you feel. And what you're going to notice is when you're feeling really good, when energy is being exerted, okay, there's a rhythm. When the energy is going, you're being exerted, like you're exerting energy, things are just going boom, 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 boom. Going really well, money comes. Once there's a break in the energy, or let's say a break in the rhythm, money slows down. It starts to recede. The tide starts to ebb. So the law of rhythm suggests that life moves in cycles. Everything has a pattern, up and down, flows and ebbs. Do you have a control over that? Do you have control over flows and ebbs? Yes, you do, to a certain degree. So let's say that you notice that at a certain time, when you're not feeling well, things start to go out. What do? It's time to correct it. It's time to take steps to correct it. It's time to be happy. It's time to watch comedies. Right? What do most people do? They worry. They start to go deeper and deeper and deeper into the lower emotions, the lower vibrations. Then they panic. Then they're frustrated. Then they're angry. No, you have to do the opposite. You have to do the opposite of what you're thinking. When money starts to go out, that's the time to be happy. This old lady told me once, when I was in my late 20s, she said, when everything is bad, that's the good news. And I was in my late 20s. I said, what? She goes, when everything is bad, that's the good news. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, no place to go but up. But before you get to that point, you have to be aware enough to notice when the energy is starting to subside, when the ebb is starting to begin. Then what do? Be happy. Take steps to naturally increase your vibration to happiness. How do you achieve that? Affirmations, meditation, visualization, vocalization. Your natural state is happiness. That's a natural state. Your natural state is love. Love is at the highest vibration. Fear is at the lowest vibration. If inside you're fearing, it's very difficult to be happy. Fear is an emotion brought upon by thought. When you allow the thought to pass, when you allow the emotion to pass, when you don't engage, just allow it to pass. You know, you get that thought, it makes you fearful. It's okay, I'm just gonna allow that thought to. And sometimes you can feel a tingling through your body as the emotion passes. You can feel it. You can feel it. Whoa, 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 like that. And it goes. And then you go, wow, I'm still okay, I'm still here. And it just went. But you have to allow it to leave. If you engage with it, if you identify with it, if you say, I'm depressed, now you've made your declaration. If you say, I'm unhappy, there you go. You have pronounced it. I am is very powerful. Or the abbreviation, I'm sad. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. When the tide begins to go out, that's when you say, I'm happy. I'm overjoyed. And do things that will put you in that state. Put on good music, music you like. Watch comedies. And use your imagination. I was surprised when I saw the statistics on imagination. I was surprised to learn that very few people use their imaginations after a certain age. When you're a child, when you are being programmed up until 7 years old, you're not even part of consciousness yet. Because your subconscious is being built, your paradigm is being built. All the experiences, all the sensory, all the reception that you are receiving up until you're 7 years old. All of these things that you're accumulating, everything you see, everything you touch, everything you hear, everything you speak. You're not even a part of consciousness at that point. But you're absorbing, and that's why they say children are sponges. Because you're absorbing everything. You're taking in everything. And then your subconscious begins. The roots of the tree. Remember the tree? The roots, subconscious. Okay? Those are your core beliefs. Whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, either way you're a believer. You're still a believer. Either way. So now the things that you believe to be true form your paradigm, the trunk of the tree, which has you see the world in a certain way. Then you have the actions, the fruit of the tree, the actions. You will know them by their fruits, right? Their fruits are their actions. Actions speak louder than words. Actions turn into results. The fruits turn into results. If you want to change the results, you have to go way down to the bottom of the tree and work on the roots. Or the actions will just be temporary. It'll just be temporary. It will only be temporary because the beliefs have not changed. And if the beliefs don't change, it cannot become a habit. Success is a habit. Failure is a habit. Failure is a part of success, but it can become a habit. So which way are you leaning? Are you leaning towards success? Are you leaning towards failure? How many of your core beliefs involve success And how many of your core beliefs involve failure? What do you believe? The things that you believe to be true become your core values. So the law of rhythm is cycles. The law of rhythm implies cycles, patterns. Okay. So everything has there's a negative season, there's a positive season. There's a time when it's time to plant, and then there's a time to harvest. After a challenging season, there's a rewarding season. But without the awareness to understand or to observe, to become the observer, to observe these seasons, you just get caught up in the distractions, and then you cannot tell. In other words, you cannot see the onset of the challenging season. And challenging season's coming. People normally don't see it until they're smack dab in the middle of it. And then what? So some people say, well, it's some people can sense it and some people cannot. Some people are distracted and some people are not. So the law of rhythm, okay, nothing stays in the same rhythm all the time. It's impossible. The 12th universal law, the law of giving and receiving. Okay, to receive, you have to give. The universe, God, superconscious, consciousness, however you want to describe it, whatever label you want to put on that. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. But it is universal law that whatever you receive, it's because you have given. Don't think about this in money terms or in materialistic terms. Have you paid attention? Attention is a currency. Attention has a vibration. You have to pay attention, because when you give something your attention, you're giving something your life. Your time is your life. You will not get that back. When you pay attention to something, that's why they call it paying attention. It's transactional. It's a transaction. If you want love, give love first. Some people hesitate. Some people go, well, I don't think I want to give love first because last time I did that, it ended up like that. Right? Those are the same people that look at the glass half empty. I don't know if I trust, so I'm not gonna give first. We'll see what happens. No. In order to receive, you have to give it first. If you want attention, you have to pay attention first. If you want someone's time, you have to give time. It doesn't matter to who. Because when you give time to something, or let's say it another way, when you are paying attention to someone, it won't necessarily return from that person. Not necessarily. But more things will start to pay attention to you. Try it. Try giving things your attention. the absence of which is distraction. When you're distracted, yesterday we were talking about the rudderless boat that goes like this. When you're being distracted, you are just burning time. When there is no purpose, when there is no alignment, when there is no decision, there's distraction. And distraction can take you from here to there, to here, to there, to here, to there. Like the rudderless boat, like that, just going distraction, distraction. This is why people hire me for their children, so that their children begin to focus. Because it's easy to lose focus in today's world. Much more easy. Applied focus, concentrated focus will result in positive manifestation. How does that happen? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. The law of giving and receiving says that whatever you want, you give it first. First, you need to know what you want. What's lacking? Is money lacking? Give money first. I experimented with that many times, many times. You don't have to give a lot. It's not about an amount. It's about the act. It's about the act of giving. It doesn't matter if you're giving a few cents or a few $100. It doesn't matter. It just matters that you're giving. The subconscious communicates with the superconscious, and it's all in here. It's all located in here. There is only the conscious, the subconscious, and superconscious, all in here. The kingdom is within. So when you make that decision, when you align the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, and they are all working in synchronicity together, that's when you have fine-tuned your life. And whatever it is that your conscious mind decides, the subconscious follows. Let's say it another way. Whatever you apply concentrated focus to materializes in the material world, in the physical world. There's a separation between the body and the spirit. Whatever you call what's in here. You want to call this a soul, you want to call this a spirit, you want to call this energy. This is who you are. You're not your body and you're not your name. You respond to your name. You've been given a name. You've been given a body. But that's not who you are. When you start observing the fact that, I can think a thought without becoming the thought. Thoughts do become things. Why? Because a belief is a thought you keep thinking. If you keep thinking a thought, you will believe it. When you believe it, it is in your subconscious. Then your subconscious will start taking you in steps towards it. It will communicate with the superconscious. The superconscious will go, okay, let me show you evidence of it. Here you go. Here you go. The reticular activating system in your brainstem goes, okay, let's filter out everything you're not focused on, and let's show you the things you're focused on. And now those things appear. Then you meet the right people. All these coincidences happen. And then you go home and you tell your family, wow, funny thing happened to me today. I went out looking for a job at a drugstore. And then I was at Starbucks getting coffee, and I ran into this guy, and we started talking, and turns out he hires people for the drugstore. He told me to come and fill out a form and apply, and then I got a job at the drugstore. Coincidence? Or superconscious? God is very real. Very real. But God lives in here. It's all in here. It's in here. It's in you. It's in all of us. But you need to choose it. We have freedom of choice. We can choose it or not choose it. Either way, it doesn't matter. If you don't choose it, what happens? Well, you're just not aware. And then you're the boat without the rudder, like this, like that. I don't know why I'm going here, I'm doing this, then I'm over here, I'm doing, then this happened and that happened. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen tomorrow. Let's see what's gonna happen tomorrow. And you wait for something to happen and then you react to it. Or you start to intentionalize your life. Live through intention, right? Tell yourself what it is you want to experience tomorrow. Write it out before you go to bed. If you're too tired to write, or if you're too lazy to write, speak it. Tell yourself the story about tomorrow. What's going to happen when you wake up? I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to have breakfast. I'm going to go to work, and I'm going to accomplish this, this, and this. You may only accomplish 2 things, or maybe just 1 thing. But you're going to find as you repeat this process, things will become a lot easier. Your life does not depend on out here. Your life depends on in here. Everything in here, the law of correspondence, affects everything out here. When things are good here, they're good here. When they're not good here, they're not good here. If there's doubt and fear in here, then this out here is a gamble. It's a toss-up. Why? Because instead of your life path unfolding like this, like it's supposed to, naturally, like this, okay, you weren't born to fear. You weren't born to doubt. You were born to project this life according to your desires, according to your thoughts, according to your core beliefs in your subconscious. Your life just unfolds for you. It's projected forward. It's like driving down yesterday, we said it's like driving down the road in the dark with no street lights, and you're going 50 miles an hour, and the farthest you can see is the furthest your lights can light the highway, but you still go because you have faith. You have faith. So it keeps you going. Now, if every time you did that you hit something, you wouldn't have faith. It would be difficult. It would be almost impossible. Why? Because you would be afraid to travel. You would be afraid to proceed. You would be afraid to go down the road. So whatever it is, that is putting up a barrier between you and your goal, which is doubt or fear. Okay, it's like this, right? These are your blessings. Your blessings are trying to come, but there's doubt and fear here. There's a wall of doubt and fear. Sometimes this wall goes up and down like this. Sometimes blessings, sometimes not. Sometimes a blessing gets through, sometimes not. Which means your life path is not unfolding like this. It's unfolding like this. Like this. So what does faith do in that instance? In that instance, it allows. You have to allow things out. Instead of being like this, be like this. Instead of being like this, be like this. Consequences are less severe. But if you have this, I'm going to push this here, I'm going to make this do this, I'm going to make this do that, and then there's a reaction. Right? The law of action and its opposite, reaction. Then the reaction becomes stronger. The consequence becomes more difficult. So if you ease up in that process, what happens? Well, things flow better. There's a better flow. The law of rhythm comes into play, and the cycles play out the way they're supposed to naturally. But now you can observe the cycles. Now with increased awareness, you're aware of the cycles. You can see them. You can predict when it's going to happen and when it's not going to happen. You can remedy the situation. You can predict when it's going to happen again. But you can do something about it. You have control over it because you have control over this one. If everything is good here, it's good here. If your focus is here, how do I fit in here? How do I do this here? I'm looking for the answer out here. The answer is not out here. The answer is in here. You will never find the answer out here. People think that's what the eyes are for. They think, well, we have eyes, so our eyes is to seek, and we're going to go seek out there. We're going to go look for the answer out there. No, you seek for the answer in here. The superconscious will provide you with the answer. Ask your mind a question. Ask your mind a question and be still enough to receive the answer. It's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. Very easy. So that feeling we get is intuition. Intuition is the feeling from the superconscious. Or you can say it another way. You can say God is talking to you. God is providing you with the feeling. Higher intelligence is providing you with the feeling or providing you with the answer. It's not a voice you hear in your head. If you're hearing voices, you have another problem. It's not that. Okay? It's the superconscious. There's only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Once your beliefs go into the subconscious and the superconscious co-create for you. You yourself, your conscious mind, are a co-creator. Because you are installing beliefs or programs, however you want to say it, in your subconscious. And the superconscious is providing you with guidance. the superconscious supports the subconscious. If you're a writer, then you understand that there's a topic sentence. So your subconscious is the topic. It contains the topic. New career. That's the topic? Okay, put it in your subconscious. How do we do that? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Write it out. I am so happy and grateful now that I am at my new job doing. Write it out. There you go. Now, if you keep writing that for 63 days, if you keep reciting it out loud for 63 days, something will happen. It's not voodoo, it's not witchcraft, it's your subconscious. You're a human being, you have the ability to direct your mind towards a purpose. Some people ask me, how do you find your purpose? What's your purpose? So what you do is you get yourself a writing tablet and write down a question that you're posing to your conscious mind. When you get the answer, write the answer and then ask another question. And then write down that answer and ask another question and write down that answer. And pretty soon, if your hand is relaxed, you will start communicating with your subconscious. Many people think that they have bad memories. Okay? If you have been conditioned into believing that you have a bad memory, think of all the times you've seen something, you've heard something, you've smelled something, and it took you right back to a memory when you were 5 years old, 6 years old. Sometimes you can't place it. It's been so long, you can't really place it, but you know. You know something happened. And all it took was that one event to trigger that. I work with military people with PTSD. And their triggers diminish until they have control. And the first thing we do to create awareness in them is to work with their voice. To project their voice, to get everything out, to open the throat chakra. After your throat chakra opens, your heart chakra opens. So you know that expression, God knows your heart? It's your subconscious and the superconscious. Whatever it is you believe is your core beliefs. Out of your core beliefs come your core intentions. Out of intentions come actions. It's the tree, the roots of the subconscious, the paradigms, the way you see the world, which dictates your actions. The kind of actions that you're going to produce based upon how you see things. Everyone's perception is different. It's just a little different. The actions are the fruits of the tree, which create the results. So if you're not happy with the results you're getting, you have to work on the roots. You know, people always say, well, you have to change your paradigm. You have to change your paradigm. Are you aware of how many paradigms you have? I don't think you are. I don't think you know. What is a paradigm? A paradigm is the way you see things based upon what you believe. So what do you believe about your mom? What do you believe about your sisters? What do you believe about your boss? What do you believe about your wife? What do you believe about your husband? What do you believe about your bestie? You don't see everyone the same way, do you? You don't act with everyone or interact with everyone the same way, do you? So that makes you a bit more complex. So you don't just have one paradigm, do you? You see? So you don't have just one paradigm. So when people tell you, well, you have to change your paradigm, ask them about what? When you get to reconstruct your core beliefs, all of these paradigms begin to shift simultaneously. It's not just one paradigm. Human beings are not just that simple. They're a little bit more complex than that. So what's the solution? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Number one, visualization. Number two, audio, your voice. When you look in holy books like the Bible, you say, oh, God spoke the world into existence. You speak things into existence as well, through your subconscious. So your subconscious recognizes your voice above everyone else. Your subconscious recognizes your image above everyone else. So what are you saying to yourself in the mirror? What are you thinking about when you look at yourself in the mirror? Because your subconscious does not know the difference between fantasy and reality, it doesn't know if you're speaking against someone or against yourself. And when you're constantly speaking against someone, when you're constantly directing negative energy against someone or against something, your self-esteem begins to lower, but you don't recognize it. And then all of a sudden you kind of have that feeling, you just don't know why. And that's why it says not to judge, right? Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Why? What are you using to judge? Your conscious mind. What is a belief? A belief is a thought you keep thinking. When you judge, your subconscious is learning to judge. Then it begins to judge all the time. Then you pass judgment on everything all the time. Why? Because your subconscious has learned to do it better than you, better than your conscious mind, and faster. Now it communicates with the superconscious. The superconscious assists the subconscious. And now what? Well, now I judge everything. I don't know why. I just judge it, everything. I'm judgmental. Now you've pronounced it upon yourself. So yes, karma is real. Karma happens through your subconscious. God does not punish. God never punishes. If your church is teaching you that God punishes, you're in the wrong church. God will never punish. You will take care of that all on your own. It starts in your subconscious. So the question is, what are you receiving? The 12th universal law of giving and receiving. What are you giving? In order to receive, you have to give first. So what are you giving first? Judgment? What are you getting? Judgment? Change the gift. When you give love, what are you getting? You get love. then there's like, oh, well, I gave love that one time and then it didn't come back. So I stopped giving love. You cannot not succeed if you give. You cannot not receive love if you give it. You may not get it from the person you want it from, but you'll get it. Because everybody has free will. So ask yourself, what's not working? Make a list, write it down. Because when you know what you don't want, now you know what you want. And then you start doing affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. You could include prayer with that. However, also entertain the idea that when you are praying, you are urging the superconscious to work on your behalf, and it will, provided your subconscious is in alignment with what you're asking. It's like the tree. The fruits of the tree are your actions. You can change them at any time. Will that change your paradigm? No. Will that change the roots of the tree, your subconscious? No. They are just random acts. You can give an act of kindness, but until you make it a habit, your rewards are temporary, very temporary. Then you have action, reaction. How do you keep those things happening regularly? How do you keep the gates open? How do you prevent being like this and just always like this? The truth is we go back and forth. But to stay like this, more than you're like this, is the key. How do you do that? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. You can think it into being, you can write it into being, you can speak it into being. And if you can think it, write it, and speak it, you can live it. But you have to be consistent. And the only way to be consistent is to form the beliefs, the roots of the tree. Otherwise, it's only temporary. So it's 8 o'clock, and we say goodbye to our international connection. We say goodbye to TikTok, to Trovo in Europe, also to YouTube and to Twitch. Also, we have Instagram.